Hi, this is Google Kickstart question matching palindrome, and this is the third question from round E. You are given a palindrome string P of length n consisting of only lower English letter of the alphabet. Find the shortest non-empty palindrome string Q such that P concatenated with Q forms a palindrome. Formally, the string PQ forms a palindrome. So here we have three cases. The first string has four characters A, B, B, A, and this is B. So P is A, B, B, A, and the answer for this Q is A, B, B, A. So first of all, this string should be a palindrome, the given string, and this also must be palindrome. So if you append this to this one, the final answer should be palindrome also, as if you read it from left and from right, it will be the same. And this is the shortest Q you can append to P so that it remains palindrome. So this is the answer for this test case. Now we have this second test case, which has four character C, 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 and the answer will be C, as C is palindrome and it's the shortest Q, so we can add it to the end of this string, and this string remains palindrome. So the answer is C for this test case. Now the last test case has 6 characters, and the answer for it is CDC. So we have CDC, CDC, and we can add the Q, CDC. This is the shortest palindrome string we can add to this string so that the final string remains palindrome. Now how can we solve this problem? So if you look into this string CDC, CDC, if we can divide it to segments that are equal of length and equal of content, so here we have CDC and here we have CDC, so both segments are equal and they have the same length, and every segment is palindrome. So CDC is palindrome, CDC is palindrome, and this is the shortest way you can divide the string into substring so that they are equal. So this has length 3, this has length 3, and so if you consider this is as x and this is as x, so you can add another x to this string. X is again CDC, and this final string will be palindrome XXX. But if you try to, for example, take shorter than 3, so CD, CC, DC, first of all, this is not palindrome, so it's not a solution. Also, they are not, all the segments are not equal. So 3 is so substring of length 3 is the answer. Let's take this one, C, 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 and here we can we need to divide it into the shortest possible palindrome. So the shortest one is each character alone. So we have 4 characters, every one is or 4 segment, every segment of length 1, and every segment is palindrome, and all the segments are equal. So we managed to divide it to 4 segments that are equal. x here equal c, so we can add another x, which is c, and this final palindrome will remain this final string will remain palindrome. Now how can we solve this efficiently? So first of all, we have the number of, or the length of the string, which is 6. So we need to try all the divisor of 6 and see if we can do if it can meet the conditions, and these conditions should be first of all, the divisor d, we need to split the string of 6 divided by d segments. Each segment is palindrome. All the segments are equal, and D should be the smallest to meet all these conditions. And for that we need to do the following. First we need to loop over the numbers from 1 to 6 and see which one is divisible, or it's divide 6. So 6 mod the number equal to 0. 1, we start with 1, so 6 model 1 is 0. We need to check for 1. So the substring of the first substring of length 1 is C, and C is palindrome, and we need to see if we can split the string into 6 divided by 1, 6 segments. Each of them is equal to C. So the second segment of length 1 is D, and it's not equal to C, so we break our loop. Then after 1 we need to check 2. 6 modded 2 is 0, and so we need to check for 2 also. So we need to divide the string into segments of length 2. The first segment is CD, and this segment is not palindrome, so we have to break our loop, as every substring should be palindrome. Next we check for 3. 6 mod 3 is 0, so we need to now to divide our string into 6 divided by 3 into 2 segments, each segment of length 3. So the first segment is CDC, and this is palindrome, so we need to check the remaining segments. We have only one remaining segment, so this segment should equal to this one, and so all the conditions applied. So we managed to split the string into 6 divided by 2 by D. D in this case is 3, so 6 divided by 2 is 2 segments, so here we have 2 segments. Each of segment is palindrome. All the segments are equal. D should be the smallest, so we don't need to check for larger divisor like 6. We don't need to check that because we need the shortest substring, and so our answer will be the first substring that has length 3, which is CD C. So let's take the other example, which is for ABBA. So the number of character is 4. So we need to loop for number from 1 to 4. The first number is 1. 4 model 1 is 0. So we need to divide our segment or our string into 4 segments. This is the first one, 2, 3, 4, and all the segments should be equal, but here we see that all the segments are not equal, so one is not solution. And then we have 2. 4 model 2 is 0, so again we need to check for 2. We need to divide the string to segments of length 2. First of all, this segment is not palindrome, so we will break our loop and check the next element, 3. 4 model 3 is not 0, so we need to skip this. As we said, the segments should be of equal length. So if you took this 3, this will be 1, so you cannot divide this string into equal substrings. The next element is 4. 4 model 4 is 0, so we need to divide the whole string into one string, and which is originally palindrome. So this is the smallest palindrome string we can have, and that will be our answer. This is the code implementation. This is just helper function that to check if a string is palindrome. Now here, as we said, we need to loop for numbers from 1 to n and check for if n model I not 0, we continue. Otherwise we need to take the first segment in the string, so s.substring of length I, and if it's not palindrome we continue, as we need it to be palindrome, so this length is not good. We go to the next number, and if it's palindrome we need to see if we can divide all the string to substring of equal to sub. So this loop we will check if we can divide the string into substring equal to the first segment. Now if j at the end is greater than or equal n, that means that we managed to divide it into n divided by I segments, and each one is palindrome, and so this will be our answer. And we break the loop since we need the shortest I. And notice that here in the question the length of the string is 10 to the power 5, but remember here the number of divisors for n equal 10 to the power 5 is very like few hundreds of numbers that can divide n. So for int max we have like 340 divisors, and for this number it will be just a few hundred numbers, and so the time complexity will be like square root of this number multiplied by n.